Good morning and welcome to Hashtag Rise and Grind. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to six, and the general manager of Dan Cummins Chevrolet Buick in Paris, Kentucky, the second largest used car franchise dealer in the United States of America. It is 5:30 a.m. and I hope that you are ready to rise and grind.
Hey, good morning. Check it out. Y'all catch me? I'm trying to do like a selfie of me on Instagram, doing a show on Facebook Live with you guys, and then you got YouTube. It's crazy, man. It is crazy trying to do all of this stuff, man, with social media, technology, and trying to stay visible, trying to get rise and grind out there to as many people as humanly possible. So I would like to say to all of you, good morning, good morning, good morning. What's everybody up to this morning? How's everybody doing? Who's in here? It looks like Darian Sanders. My man, D, is up in here first thing, rising and grinding. Robbie Toomey, Patrick Booth, rising and grinding. Good morning, you guys. Good morning, Melvin Rodriguez. Good morning, Carla. We have an incredible, full, packed show today. I mean, it is a packed show today. We have got so much to talk about. We're going to talk a little bit about a work-life balance. We're going to talk a little bit about breaking down your top five. We've also got some cool stuff coming from Deanne Stevens today that I want to touch on. But before we do, I got to make sure to say good morning to my man Eric Mitchell. Good morning, Aaron Bullock. Good morning, Gary Pollard. Good morning, David Booth. Good morning, Susan Rose. Good morning, Tom Sizemore. Good morning, Chris Brooks and John Hinkson. Do me a favor, guys. Hit the share button. Let's get as many people up in here this morning as humanly possible. We are rising and grinding. Everybody check it out. Stephanie Toadvine. Stephanie Toadvine hasn't been in here with us for a while. She has been rising and grinding, but she hasn't been in here on the show. So good morning, Stephanie. I'm glad you're here. Good morning, Scott Simons, Beth Workman. Check it out. Last night was awesome, man. Last night was so stinking cool. My wife and I, after an incredible day at Dan Cummins, okay, we sold all kinds of cars yesterday. Just an incredible day there. We are off and running this month. It's insane the amount of cars we are selling at Dan Cummins this month. We set a goal to sell 1,000 and we are on track. We're like pacing like 1,300. So it's crazy. But anyways, last night, my wife and I, we got to go out without the kids, and we got to spend some time with Kelsey and Matt Malicote, who Kelsey and Matt Malicote are incredible human beings. They're amazing. They're entrepreneurs. They're Christian people. They own a photography studio. They do some consulting as far as social media and things like that. They're just incredible people, and we got to spend some time with them, and we got to do taking them some photos and so on and so forth for the Rise and Grind gear, which we got right back here. You guys know what I'm talking about? The Rise and Grind gear that you can get at GlennLundy.com. We were taking some photos and whatnot about that, and it was super neat because my wife and I have never really worked together on anything before, but the Rise and Grind, ever since we started the hashtag Rise and Grind show, and then that led to the gear, and now my wife is involved with me on the business side of Rise and Grind, which is incredible. She's helping me keep everything straight, and we've just never worked together before, you know? It's always been she's raising the kids, I'm doing the work thing. And so this has been a really neat experience. It's something that I never knew if we could do before, but it's just been really neat. She was like posing and modeling for all the different gear. We'll have the site updated today, so make sure you go to the site a little bit later today. We'll have everything updated with all the gear. We have different options now for all the gear. And so she's like posing and smiling, and we're just having a good time. And it was just incredible, and it just got me thinking, man. It got me thinking. People sometimes ask me about a work-life balance and how you can balance, you know, these 70-hour work weeks that you've got, plus the Rise and Grind show, plus all that with my wife, so on and so forth. People ask those questions on how we balance all that, and so I wanted to tackle that a little bit today. And I also, before I totally dive into that, I want to make sure that you guys all tune in, okay? Deanne Stevens. The wonderful, great Deanne Stevens. She just won a country music award for being Broadcaster of the Year. Well, she has a radio show on the Bull. She also has a radio show on iHeartMedia. She also has a TV segments that she does on WKYT. Well, our Rise and Grind show, she caught wind of it. She saw all you guys posting all these incredibly powerful, uplifting posts. She saw people filling the feeds with positivity instead of negativity. She saw you guys doing all that, posting pictures of your successes. She saw you guys coming together and creating a group and inviting your friends, a group that now has 9,200 people in it. She saw that. She caught wind of that, and she's like, I want to be a part of that. I want to learn more about that. So she came here. We recorded some stuff, and it is going live today at 4:20. And at 4:55, there'll be 2 segments on WKYT Channel 27. So make sure you check that out. It's super cool, man. And I just want you guys to know I am so thankful I get to be the face, but it's really you guys in the background. It's you guys making all the posts. It's you guys that are spreading the positivity. It's you guys spreading the energy. It's you guys doing all the work. All I'm doing is coming in here and talking for 20 minutes, and then you guys are taking it from here. So thank you so much. Give yourself a round of applause. Give yourself a like. Give yourself a heart for being a part of an elite group of human beings who choose to rise and grind, that are out there making a difference on this planet. Now, boom, boom. I'm not seeing the likes and the hearts. Maybe there's a delay. I need to see likes and hearts. I need some energy. I need you guys to give me some energy. Give me some fuel. Come on, lift me up. Encourage me. That's what I'm talking about. Start to bring them in here. Start to bring them in here. Likes and hearts. Likes and hearts. Fill the dang feed. Let's go. Positivity. That's how we roll on the Rise and Grind. We lift each other up. We encourage each other. That's what we're here for. We hold each other accountable, and I'm going to hold y'all accountable. I need some likes. I need some hearts. I need y'all to bring it so I can bring you some awesome content this morning. Now, that's much better. That's much better. I like it. Okay, now I'm feeling good. So check this out. Check this out. Here. You gotta. Okay, when it comes to work-life balance, right? People want to know about a work-life balance, and I'm going to break it down for you in the most simple form that it's ever been broken down for you, ever. Okay. Here's the thing. You must start by knowing and understanding your top 5. Okay. This is first and foremost. If you're taking notes, write it down. You must absolutely 100% know and understand your top 5. Now, I'm going to use me as an example, if that's okay with you guys, because I think that I can teach the best if I use me as an example, right? Okay, because nobody knows me better than I know me, right? So here we go. Check it out. Get to know your top 5. Here's my top 5. You guys hear it in the mornings in the intro. Okay, the intro to this show tells you Glenn Lundy's top 5, okay? I am a husband to 1. That's number 1. That's number 1 on my top 5. I am a husband to 1. Now, Darian's in here, and Darian's going to tell you, well, Glenn, you're a child of God, and I am a child of God, absolutely 100%. God is, my Lord, my Father, that's where I'm looking. But I'm talking about my existence and my presence on this earth in my human existence. Okay, in my human existence. Number 1, I am a husband to 1. I am a father to 6. I am the general manager at Dan Cummins Chevrolet and Buick, the second largest used car franchise dealership in the country. And I am your host of the Rise and Grind. Now, number 5 doesn't say it in the intro, but number 5 is I am an author. I am a writer. I have a book called Corporate Family Values that is going to be coming out later in the year. I write every day in my social media posts. I make sure to write every single day, okay? So, I am a husband. I am a father. I am a general manager, Dan Cummins. I am a host/speaker, motivation, inspiration, education, and I am an author and a writer, okay? Boom, there's the 5. Now that I know my 5, let me explain how this works. Now that I know my 5 as far as work-life balance, okay? I know my number 5. So what does number 1 look like? Number 1 on my list is I am a husband. That's number 1. So what does number 1 look like? Okay? Well, here's what number 1 looks like. As a husband, I must protect and provide for my wife. Okay? I must protect and provide for my wife. Number 1. As a husband. I also must be a lover as a husband, right? I have to be concerned and aware of my wife's emotions. That's what makes a good husband, right? And I've also got to be a friend. I got to be my wife's best friend. I have to do that. And I have to be a rock, right? I have to be a shoulder that she can cry on, that she can come to, that she knows that I'm going to be here. So those are the things that I have to do in order to be a good husband. I have to be a provider. I have to be a lover. I have to be a friend. I have to be her rock, right? I have to do those things, period. And that's number one on my list. Number one on my list is I am a husband. So when I make a decision, for example, like a decision to have to work late until 10 o'clock at night, where does that decision fall in? Does that fall in me being a good GM, or does it fall under me being a good husband? Well, technically it falls under both, but here's what I have to look at first. What is the current relationship with my wife? Am I in a relationship where she feels as though we are friends, where I'm being her rock, where I am being her lover, and now I'm making a decision to stay until 10 o'clock at night so that I can be a better provider? Is everything else in line first? Because if all that other stuff's not in line, then now I'm just working. Right? Now I'm just working. Now I'm just GMing. I'm making being the GM number one versus being the husband number one. And that's when things start to fall apart. Okay? So as a provider, I do have to work a lot of hours. As a provider, I do have to get up and rise and grind. That falls under husband. Does that make sense? That falls under husband. As long as everything else is in line. You're being the lover, you're being the friend, you're being the rock. Then it's okay to go out there and provide. It's okay to grind and put in the hours. Now, number two, what does that look like? Number two, okay, number one, I am a husband to one. Number two, I am a father to six. So what does it look like being a father to six? Well, does that mean that I spend all of my time with my kids every day, and that I sacrifice work, and I sacrifice finances, and I sacrifice all of those things because I don't want to miss out on my daughter's recital? That's not what it looks like. Sorry, folks. That's not what it looks like. What it means to be a father is it means I have to be disciplinary at sometimes. I have to be a role model, and I have to be a leader. I have to show my kids, okay, husband to one, father to six. I have to show them the way. I have to guide them. And sometimes that means that I got to be at work, man. Sometimes that means I got to rise and grind. Sometimes that means that I got to make sacrifices, and I might have to miss a ball game here and there, or I might miss one of the kids' first steps, or I might miss some of these things that, yes, they're wonderful memories, and yes, I hope I can catch them all, but you guys have to understand, and I have to understand that in order to be a good father, I have to be a role model. I have to be a leader. I have to show them how they can make their way on this planet. I have to keep them in check. I have to be disciplinary at times. I cannot be just all fun and games. So number one, I am a husband, and I do whatever it takes to be that. To be the best husband that I can be. Every decision I make. Hey, Glenn, do you want to go do this? Okay, hold on. Check. Where does that fall in line with me as a husband first? Okay, falls in line. Good. Now, where does that fall in line with me as a father second? Hey, Glenn, can you go make this decision? Hey, Glenn, can you go do this speaking event? Hey, Glenn, can you go do this with me on a Sunday? Hey, Glenn, do you want to go out with us on a Saturday night? Okay, wait a minute. Where does that fall as husband? Let me check there. Where does that fall as father? Let me check there. Okay, if it falls in line and I can still be the best father I can be and still be the best father that I can be, then I can continue to make those decisions. You guys following? Number three, I am the general manager of Dan Cummins Chevrolet and Buick in Paris, Kentucky. Okay, first I'm husband, then I'm father, then I'm general manager at Dan Cummins Chevrolet in Paris, Kentucky. What does that look like? Well, that means I have to be a servant leader. That means I have to work hard. That means I have to think outside the box all the time, all the time, all the time. All the time. I have to stay cutting edge. I have to stay on top of things. I have to understand what's going on out there in the industry. I have to make sure that I'm promoting the dealership better than anybody else on the planet. I have to make sure that we're getting a nationwide presence. I have to make sure that everything that I'm doing, every post that I make, every single thing that every decision that I make on a public level leads to Dan Cummins Chevrolet expressing and branding this company for what it is, which is an amazing company ran by amazing people that's making an amazing difference in people's lives. A place that has 270 employees that are impacted and affected by the decisions that I make every single day. So I have to make sure my door's open. I have to understand that I am a servant leader. I have to be there for all of my people, and I have to work hard. I have to work hard. I have to work hard. You guys understand? I got to be there Monday morning, Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, Friday morning, Saturday morning. I have to work hard if I want to drive the dealership. If I want to be successful, I have to continue to work hard. Well, Glenn, how do you work hard if you're still making time to spend time with your wife? Well, hold on. Wait a minute. Spending time with my wife is not what falls under provider. Working hard is what falls under provider. It doesn't say I have to spend 70 hours a week with my wife. It says I have to provide for my wife. I have to be a lover for my wife. I have to be a friend and a rock for my wife. Now, what about spending time with your kids? Well, hold on a minute. Being a servant leader and working hard as the general manager, Dan Cummins Chevrolet, doesn't say that I don't spend more time with my kids. It doesn't say I have to take time away from my kids. But hold on, being a father says I have to take time away from my kids, because being a father says I have to teach them. I have to be a role model. I have to be a leader. I have to show them that life is not sitting around and laying around on the couch and watching TV. It's work. It's a grind. You guys see what I'm saying? So once you know you're 5, then you know what, it can help you make your decisions. As long as number 1's in line as a husband, then I can go to a number 2. As long as number 2's in line as a father, then I go to number 3. As long as those two are in line, then I can go to number 3, which is the general manager at Dan Cummins Chevrolet. So now I can make decisions that are best decisions for the dealership. Then I start to take a look at number 4. Now, number 4 is being the host of Rise and Grind. Number 4 is being here, motivating and speaking and lifting others. That's what's number 4. So now I make my decision when it comes to selling Rise and Grind gear, when it comes to making photo shoots for Rise and Grind. When it comes to doing all of those things, I make sure to look at the first 3 first. How does it look as a husband? How does it look as a father? How does it look as a GM? I don't do Rise and Grind work when I'm doing my GM work. That's not it. GM Dan Cummins comes first, Rise and Grind comes second. I'm working with my wife on Rise and Grind type work. This is an extra project that I brought into to my family. I'm showing my kids that you can create an idea and you can run with it, and you can generate income from it, and you can make a difference in people's lives with it. So Rise and Grind falls in line. I'm being a good husband. My wife and I are actually spending more time together than we were before Rise and Grind. I'm being a good father. I'm teaching them to be entrepreneurial, get out there and make a difference in people's lives. It doesn't conflict with Dan Cummins. As a matter of fact, it actually does a good job of branding Dan Cummins. I'm wearing a Dan Cummins shirt right now. Where y'all going to buy a car if you buy a car today? You're going to want to buy a car at Dan Cummins, I promise, because you watch the Rise and Grind. And then number 4, I'm out there helping you, and you guys are helping me, and we're starting to serve and dish all this stuff out, and it's awesome, man. Then number 5, of course, author, writer. So what does that look like? Well, I have to make sure I write every day, which I do in the morning. I write down a gratitude list. I write down my goal list. I write down stuff for social media. Okay, I've been working on my book, Corporate Family Values. That's going to be coming out. Once that comes out, then I'm going to have book signings. I'm going to have branding that I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have social media that I'm going to have to do. So how am I going to be able to do that when I'm already a husband, and I'm already a father, and I'm already a GM, and I'm already doing Rise and Grind? How do I do all that? And I slide in the stuff with the book. Well, it's simple. I know the order of my top 5. Do you? I know what order things go in. So if somebody says, hey, Glenn, can you come do a book signing on Saturday at 4 o'clock in Miami, Florida? I'm going to look and I'm going to go, okay, well, hold on, wait a minute. Let's see. Where am I at with my wife? Okay, relationship's good, relationship's strong. We've had time together. Okay, good. Where am I at with my kids? Okay, I've made sure to spend valuable time with my kids. I'm making sure to show them that I'm a role model, that I'm a leader, disciplinary actions. We're hanging out. We're having fun. Kids love me. Kids are good. Okay, good. What about the dealership? Is this going to affect the dealership? Oh, well, no, it's a Saturday at 4 o'clock. I'll be able to work Saturday morning. Maybe I can hop on the flight. I can run down after that. Okay, all right, so good. And is it good for the dealership? Yep, it's good for the dealership. You know, having a book out there that's Corporate Family Values that shows how you built a dealership from 120 cars a month to 850, now 1,000 cars a month. That's a good thing. That's a good thing for Dan Cummins. It falls in line. Okay, well, what about Rise and Grind and you know, being a speaker, motivational, inspirational, educational? Definitely falls in line with that, right? Definitely falls in line with that. We can brand Rise and Grind more. We can bring more people to the group. I can do all that with a book. Okay, boom, and it falls in line with the writer. Okay, boom, I can make that decision. That's how it goes, guys. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. When you want to operate on a high level, when you want to operate on a frequency that people are just like, holy crap, man, that guy is jacked up. How does he do all this stuff? How does he fit it all in? If you guys want to start operating on that level, then you got to figure out your top 5. You got to put them in order. You got to take your top 5 and put them in order. What's the best order for you? Not everybody's order is the same, okay? So you've got to put your top 5 in the order that works for you, and you got to start making your decisions on those top 5. So much of us are scattered all over the place. We're scattered all over the place. We're getting pulled all over the place. And then we're too thin here, and we're too heavy here, and we end up, that stuff leads to divorce. It leads to bad relationships. It leads to getting fired. And so you have to understand, you have to map out exactly who you are as far as your top 5 goes, and start making all of your decisions based in that order. Just in case you didn't know, I'm going to remind you, my name is Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to 1, a father to 6, and the general manager of Dan Cummins Chevrolet and Buick in Paris, Kentucky, the second largest used car franchise dealership in the country. And I am your host. It is 5:30 a.m. We are on the rise and grind. That's who I am, folks. That's who I am. Check it out. You are going to have an amazing day today. I'm going to have an amazing day today. Today is Wednesday, March 7th, man. Wednesday, March 7, 2018. Do you know that it's never been Wednesday, March 7, 2018 before? We've never had this day before. It's never existed in the past, and it will never exist again. We have this powerful day today where we can go out and start to make a difference in people's lives. We have this powerful day today where we can start to make a change in our individual lives. So if you need a little bit more of this, if you need some more videos, you need some more whatever, check it out. I got the YouTube page. I finally got the right URL. So the YouTube page is now youtube.com/Glenn Lundy. You don't have to go to In the Beginning Inspiration anymore. youtube.com/Glenn Lundy. There's over 100 videos on there. You can also go to glennlundy.com, get yourself some Rise and Grind gear if you want. But before we go, I need you to know something. I need you to know that you are an incredible, amazing human being. You are this individual that was uniquely made by God, by the Creator himself. He made you to be the absolute best version of you that you can be. And right now, you've made this choice. You've made this choice to be part of an elite group of individuals that continue to rise and grind. The positivity that you are putting out into the universe, it is infectious and contagious. It is spreading to everyone around you, your coworkers, your family members. Your decisions are making an impact on this planet. And I, for one, cannot tell you how much I love you for that and that alone. I need you to have an absolutely incredible day today. I need you to have a phenomenal day today. And I need you to come back tomorrow, because we'll have a little bit more tomorrow, Thursday, March 8th, on the Rise and Grind. Tune in, Deanne Stevens. Make sure to check that out. I'll share the video on here, too, later in case y'all are out of town and you guys can't watch it on the regular news. But, yeah, I'll make sure to share it. And that's about it, man. Love you guys. Have an incredible day today. Have a phenomenal day today. Have a spectacular day today. Have an over-the-top day today. Have the best March 7th, Wednesday, 2018 ever in the history of all time. And make sure to remember your top 5. Figure them out. Keep them in order. Incredibly important. See you guys. See ya.